Yeah.
People are well trained and well programmed, and they don't like the discomfort that comes along with rejecting the programming that they have been given for their entire lives. Because that truly means not only do you have to think for yourself, you have to be personally responsible for everything you think and every action that you undertake
Yeah.
or condone
Right.
for other
Yes.
people to take. And here's what it boils down to. It boils down to there are two systems operating on earth. And this is biblically what is talked about as there's Mammon's system and there's God's system.
Hmm.
And you can't obey two masters.
Right.
You can't align yourself with both systems. You either align yourself with one system or you align yourself with the other system. You have to make a dialect. This is the real dialectic, right?
Right.
This is where there really is two sides and you got to make a choice between them because this is what's operating in nature. It's operating in our presence in nature. And there's really one system, and the other system is satanic illusion.
Right.
It really
That's what the
is
Matrix
a
is.
structural idea. Correct. That's what the real control system
You
operating
don't need a
around
computer
us
for it.
is. Right. So
Wait.
here's
Yeah.
the two systems.
Okay.
Okay, folks, listen up.
God's system wants to evolve our consciousness on and on and on and on. It wants to take us from undifferentiated matter and complete low vibratory consciousness to bring us up to higher and higher and higher and higher levels of awareness and knowledge, to the point where we literally go to the stars and to the greater mysteries of creation.
Right.
And we become an advanced species such which we could barely even recognize what that would look like or mean in our present state of consciousness. And this is what the Creator wants for us. It wants all of the best things. It wants further development. It wants more learning, more knowledge, more growth, more advancement. So the first system on earth is God's system,
Right.
and it's God's laws. These systems have a form of law. Everything in the creation of the Creator is governed by law. That's every piece of matter is governed by
Right.
law, and every form of thought and behavior is also governed by law. Those are the more unseen laws. The physical laws that govern matter are the seen laws of creation. The unseen laws of creation, or the more occult laws, the ones that are more difficult to see. And again, the word occult comes from the Latin occultare, which means to hide, to conceal, or to keep secret. And that verb, occultare, in turn comes from the Latin noun oculus, which means eye. That's why the eye is used as a symbol for the occult
Right.
and some of its societies. And it is related to vision. That's what occultism is. It's knowledge that is related to, are you able to see it? Or is it
Right.
relatively unseen in our presence and operates in the unseen spiritual realm? Okay? So the natural laws of the Creator are the behavioral laws that govern the consequence for the behaviors that we put out through our thoughts, emotions, and actions. And the universe acts as a reflective mirror for our output of behavior. So we get consequence for the behaviors that we choose in life, and we choose those behaviors based on our knowledge and understanding. That's the process. We learn through information, and then we behave based on the input and the processing and understanding of said knowledge, or we remain ignorant of that knowledge and we don't learn it, and then our behavior is very bad on the other side. So here's what the specifics of natural laws, objective moral knowledge is. When you have this knowledge, you truly have conscience. Conscience also comes from the Latin words con, the prefix con meaning together or with, and the verb sciere in its infinitive form, which means to know or to understand. When you put them together, conscience, to know, sciere, where the word science comes from, science, to
Right,
know,
right,
to
right,
understand, and con, all together. Together or together with. It literally means to know together, to understand together, to have common sense, to all know together. That's conscience, because what we should all know together is the objective difference between right behaviors and wrong behaviors. That's God's system of law. That's natural law. This isn't Darwinism. This isn't the pecking order. This isn't survival of the fittest. This has nothing to do with animal behavior. Okay, when I say natural, that comes from the Egyptian word netter, and it's actually not pronounced like that. If you transliterate it, it would be NTR in English transliteration. But if you actually pronounce the word in Egyptian, it's netcher, netcher, which is very close to nature. And the word actually means God, right? So netcher al, the suffix al from Sanskrit actually means related to or having to do with or directly involved with. So natural, natural literally means related to God.
So saying supernatural is a stupid thing.
There's no such thing. In the natural world, it's all related to the Creator and its laws. The force of creation, the force of evolution, and the advancement and development of consciousness. So the natural law is God's law. It's the law related to the Creator of the universe, which is behavioral and spiritual law. And here's how it operates. You learn what rights are, and you learn what is the antithesis of rights. What are the transgressions against rights? What are the things we should not do because they violate rights? Rights are actions which do not violate the rights and initiate harm against other sentient beings. They don't violate the rights of other sentient beings. They don't initiate harm or defrauding or loss to other sentient beings. And consent, right. So those are reserved as rights. 7 behaviors do violate natural rights and do initiate harm to other sentient beings. Murder, assault, rape, theft, trespass, coercion, and deception. I'll say them one more time. The 7 true deadly sins against God's real laws, natural laws, the natural laws of all creation are as follows. These are the real 7 deadly sins: murder, assault, rape, theft, trespass, coercion, deception. These are all the things authority does and says that they're exempt from.
Did you hear that?
This is all the things this cult does in the world. And they all these things stem from believing that you have ownership over another being that you do not. And the phrase ownership over another being is slavery. And all the word authority is a euphemism for slavery.